Alberta, Canada is focusing on more equality for their transgender residents, and they're doing so by ensuring that people can use the bathroom of the gender that they identify with. Now, of course, there are some religious individuals that don't agree with this decision, and one of those people is a mother who's very concerned. She goes by MH Weibe, and she is an aspiring rapper. So she put out a rap video talking about this issue, and you will love it. Let's take a look.
Come on, what's all the fuss over transgender washrooms we discuss? Is this really such the issue to focus and put our taxes to? Can we focus rather on educating rather than mere facilitating? We should stop and calculate the costs while teachers' jobs take cuts and loss. Are there 6, perhaps 13 in essence, children in Alberta who switch gender pretense? No, this is not the issue to legislate or to pursue. This is just a fender bender all over sex and gender. Can we pick another issue than to change our bathrooms for a few?
Oh, that was
Our
wonderful.
bathrooms for a few.
Okay.
I like when she doesn't have enough words to fill the time, so she just stretches out words like facilitate, facilitate.
No.
That's not what rappers do.
Yeah. Don't use facilitating in a rap. Ever. Okay. Second of all, don't rap about taxes. Okay. And here's another line that doesn't belong in a rap. We should be calculating the costs. Right?
Okay, so
But you know, there's somebody out there who's an enabler for her.
I know.
That was like, oh, honey, you nailed it.
I know.
That awkward pause before you started singing.
Come on,
wonderful.
Come on. That was
Just
my
right.
favorite part, when she said, come on, in the very beginning. Can we just watch the very beginning again?
To be fair to her, by the way, some of the background stuff she has was in one of our sets before.
Awesome. Oh, that awkward moment when you're karaoke singing and the song hasn't started yet.
Come on, what's all the fuss over transgender washrooms we discuss? Is this really such the issue to focus and put our taxes to? Can we focus rather on educating rather than mere facilitating? We should stop.
Okay, no mas. No mas.
Okay.
It doesn't get anywhere. Facilitating.
Okay, so she's on the wrong side of things. Going out of
She's
your
on the
way.
wrong side of life.
Okay, yes. But let's take the fact that she's rapping about something we disagree with out of it. Let's say she's rapping about something benign, okay? What I wonder is, does this happen to everyone? Not the aspiring rapper part, but the part where you become a mom and you look like that. She's adorable, she looks adorable, but I'm saying there's something about, no, is that gonna be me?
You took this to a weird place.
No. Am I gonna wear a short sleeved hoodie one day?
Oh yeah. That part.
Is that
true.
what happens?
And then you're gonna say, honey, should I rap about taxes? And your husband's gonna be like, yeah, let's grab that old stuff that the Young Turks used to have in their studio, put it in the background, use some of their old graphics, and then come on,
yeah,
we'll do it.
Especially Christian, he'll be like, I'll support you in anything you do, and he does. So he would totally enable me. Anyway.
Luckily, you have friends here, and Jesus and JR would tackle you before they let you do a rap like that. Okay, so now on to the issue of what she's rapping about. She's really, concerned that we're going to take into account kids who have transitioned and get them to the right bathroom. Yes, I know. There's kids who are like, hey, you know what, I'll go through all the ridicule of, maybe in a super lib place, you're going to have that conversation, but really, in other places in the country or in Canada, wherever you are, and isn't she's in Alberta, which is the more conservative place in Canada, right? Kids are like, oh yeah, I'll go through all that mockery and ridicule and all the giant hassles that come with, hassles is such an understatement for what they have to go through to transition in the middle of high school when high school is hard enough. But I'll do that just so I can get into the girls' bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's likely. Those are the people you should be rapping against.
What's interesting is how conservatives spend a lot of time thinking about like the most perverted things imaginable, right? Like, I don't know, if I lived in a vacuum and I heard a story like this, I would say, yeah, if that's their gender identity, let them use the bathroom. It's the bathroom, who cares? But Republican minds automatically go to the dirtiest things, right? Like, oh my God, they're gonna pretend that they identify as girls so they can go into the girls' bathroom and do dirty, nasty things. Or when it comes to like gay sex or same-sex marriage, whenever you talk about that, oh, well, what's gonna happen next? Are people gonna fornicate with animals? Where did that come from? Normal people don't think like that.
Yeah. Well, every time we've asked a conservative who's against gay marriage on our show, well, why do you care about gay rights? I mean, you think if everybody had an opportunity, they'd be gay. They'd largely answer yes.
Probably because they're somewhere on that spectrum.
Remember Pastor Manning talking about how delicious semen was?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay, I mean, we're like, all right, dude. I mean, however you want to roll. So,
wow.
And so in this case, I remember Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, ran for president, talking about like, oh yeah, didn't we all want to get into the girls' bathroom when we were kids? I mean, look, I'm sure a lot of 13-year-olds did, but they didn't go and become, transition their life and their gender to do that. But that's immediately where Huckabee's mind goes, probably her husband's in the case of this aspiring rapper. So what's a mom rapper? A mapper?
It's wrong. That's what that is.
Okay. And they think, oh, they're doing what I would do. Take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
Right? That's not what they're doing. And finally, I do feel a little bad because we likely ended her career.
I think she likely ended her career.
We've ended many careers. Remember Debbie Schlussel, Schwang Wang Wang
Yes.
Schlussel, who thought she was going to do some stand-up, and she's about Barack Obama.
Debbie does politics.
Yeah, B.O. No, I'm not talking about that kind of B.O. And she wasn't kidding, ironically, as she was trying to kid around. I'm like, wow, that was the worst stand-up you've ever seen, right? Oh. And all those, some of the young conservatives that are now like, watch the Young Turks, now we're liberals. And if that's not the end of a rapping career, we haven't done our job well enough.
The like to dislike ratio, when I looked at it today, earlier today, was 11 likes to 800 dislikes.